Hey guys, Luetin here, welcome back for another episode of Super Hang On Sunday. Happy New Year! It's the new year of Sundays. And off we go. A bit of sprinting action. Beep. So, off we roll, first of the new year. Wouldn't it be fantastic to do this on the new year? Well, let's see how we go. It's amazing actually, I was just playing another game a minute ago and it always, like, it's funny, when I've been playing this game for a little bit, you don't notice the graphics, but when you've been playing something else and then you jump straight into this, my god. It's so old school and pixelated, you can't believe it. Anyway, here we go. Oh no! Oh, kept it together. Do a rough start. So, how was your new year? How was your new year celebrations? From what I gather, most people weren't doing a massive amount, which doesn't surprise me because I think the TV often overhypes just how much people do at New Year, which seems to be the kind of standard benchmark for all TV because, of course, it's got to be exciting and interesting, you know, it's got to keep people on their toes. And, well, in reality, most people have a few friends and a bit of food and a bit of drink, which is pretty much what you really need for New Year because, as always, I would say, you know, spending it with people is pretty much the most important thing. So I hope you guys had a good one nonetheless. Oh my god, this is a bit of a crash and burn episode today. So what can we think about going forward? Well, you know, this channel has been coming together a little bit. It's doing okay, growing slowly, which is fine. Nice to see all the input and things. I think I need to kind of regroup my plan a little bit. I've been very, you know, December is always a busy time. It's always a busy time with like work and you know, finding time to do everything that you've got to do in that month. And so it's been a little bit difficult. It's been a bit hard on the live streaming side because there was loads of times I wanted to do live streaming and just couldn't for one reason or another, extremely tired or whatever. And so that's put a bit of a dent in some of my stuff like Civ 5, etc. But it'll all be coming on the way, don't worry. Need to get back in and hit it pretty hard. And Battlefield, as always, Battlefield's been rolling on, and there's various issues with that going on as well. But wow, that was a nice little pass through right there. But nonetheless, I feel pretty happy, as I say, with the last year of this channel anyway. I feel like I kind of put a bit more into this channel, and this year we'll do even more so. But as I say, as always, it'd be super nice if the channel grew a little bit more, but I'm sure that it will. I'm sure that in the next month or two we'll probably reach to the sort of 3,000, and then, you know, if we could get to 5 or something, 5 would be awesomely fantastic. But we'll see how we go. It's just, you got to have these little goals to set yourself, so you kind of have like targets, you know, and then when you reach it, you feel like you're actually moving forward. There's kind of positive progress going on. But this channel, as we said before, has always been about kind of just enjoying the games, and which is kind of curious why I play this game. Right? No, I do enjoy this game, but my god, that was a bit of a fail. You see, always, when I say I'm doing well or that I'm enjoying this game, that's when it always goes catastrophically wrong. Oh, we're flying away now, flying away. Ooh. A bit of a sneaky pass through right there, and a go. Oh yeah, there's the whole painting debacle that I talked about last time as well. I still have not decided what to do with these things. So it's like, I want to do miniature painting again, which is like Warhammer 40,000 stuff. If you don't know what that is, look it up, just type it into, oh crap, type it into Google, just Warhammer 40k, if you don't know what it is. And I did do a video about it for my other channel, but like I said the last time, I really can't decide which channel to put it on. I feel like it's kind of like, thing is, if I post things intermittently on the other channel, it'll do well because it's just like a one-off thing, so it catches people's interest, even if it's not something that they're kind of regularly interested in. So it's like, and that's the thing, is like, if I do miniature painting stuff, I don't know really how often I'm realistically going to do it. And so I kind of in many ways feel like, maybe it would just add like a little bit of garner, you know, some sort of interest there, just by being a bit of a novelty. But on the other hand, it would be kind of nice to have it as kind of an ongoing theme on this channel. I like the idea of making this channel perhaps more than just gaming. You know, it's just kind of, it's Luetingaming, so that could be anything. You know, I could talk about things from, you know, all sorts of different things. And so tabletop gaming could become part of that. In fact, it could kind of end up being sort of 50-50, I don't know. So, but on the other hand, you know, this channel is on the smaller side, and, you know, when I do something, I want it to have the kind of the most visibility that I can put on it. So these are the kind of things you're sort of trying to think about when you're producing video content. It's kind of like, what am I going to do? So I don't know. So I haven't decided that one yet. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but if you have an opinion on that, I'd love to hear, be interested to hear. Not doing very well on this run, but we are into beach nonetheless. Are we going to make it to the crazy nuclear orange level? Bit of a question mark, because we've had 2 crashes so far, so that's not necessarily doing the best for us, but we'll see how we go. Oh crap, probably didn't need to go to the outside line there. Oh crap. Well, this has been just a rough run. Remember that really good run I had last week where everything was perfect and I just flew straight through? Oh, we did. Look, we have made it to orange. You know, this has been quite surprising. Oh, God. Third crash. Ah, there we go. Well, you know, it was going right. To be honest, right, considering we had 3 crashes, I'm quite impressed that we actually got to this section. So... Right, there we go. Sorry. I never ever do that on this channel, but I was literally just grabbing something on my laptop to the right of me, right? In that interval period. Right, let's carry on. So, what can we talk about this week? Well, of course, it's a new year, and be interested to hear what you guys had for Christmas and presents and things like this. But the new console, that's the question mark as well for me. I need to look into a little bit about recording. I think you can record from the PS4 onto the Elgato, which is what I generally use to capture recording stuff. The PS4 people ask me about constantly, like, when am I going to get it? The thing is, I don't really feel like in a massive pressure to get the PS4, because there's not a massive quantity of titles out for the system yet. And this is always the way with these new things, you see. Is, you know, people fall over themselves to get them, and then you only end up with like a couple of games. And also they're really, and that's the other thing, is like, how often you know, do you buy a new game? And people don't buy, I suppose people do buy, there's more new games out than there used to be. You know, it used to be very infrequent. In fact, the whole summer period you often would see very few releases, whereas now it's almost quite consistent through the year in terms of releases, because so many people producing games now. But you know, here's the other thing, is that if you wait for a while, like if I wait, for example, to the middle of this year perhaps before I was to buy it, which I don't think I will, but if I did, you'd have a much better opportunity of picking up perhaps some pre-owned PS4 titles. You know, people got what they want out of it and put it back on, so you're going to save yourself a little bit of money there, things like that. But you know, more than that, I was going to make a video actually, and I might still do this, talking about, like, if you, for example, are a PC owner and you've never really sort of owned a PS3 or anything like that because you've just been playing on your PC all the time, now would definitely be the time to consider buying, for example, a PS3, because they're cheap as anything right now. You can probably get just a unit for about £100, and then from that you could then pick up some pre-owned PS only titles, you know, some of the stuff like Killzone 3, Last of Us, what else, Heavy Rain, things like this. So some of these great titles which only came out for the system, and you know, you're going to have a lot of enjoyment from that, and for very little money. I mean, when you think about what you'd end up actually spending on it, it's so little. So it's definitely one to consider, and I think I might make, as I say, a small individual video talking about that. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think. I mean, I know, for example, that a lot of PC players who are so into their PC be like, you know, just don't be stupid, you know, I've got my PC, why would I ever need that? Well, you know, people shouldn't be so close-minded. There's a hell of a lot of enjoyment, and you know, if you haven't seen The Last of Us, that's my playthrough on this channel as well for that. And it's Last of Us, one of the best games I ever played, but it's PS exclusive, so unless you've got a PlayStation or you just watch the playthrough, you're not going to get to play that game, and I really think it's absolutely worth getting. I would almost say getting the PlayStation 3, you know, you could get a pre-owned one as well. You could get a pre-owned PS3, and you might sort of think, pre-owned, really? And it's like, well, you know, it depends how old it is, and so on and so on. You know, if it's new, and they just, you know, a lot of people as well are going to be selling up maybe quite new, you know, maybe only 1 year old PS3s, so that they can get their PS4 and probably sell it for not very much money with a load of games. My friend at work said that he picked up a console the other day, and it was like £100 with like 6 games or something. Yeah, I mean, Christ, for £100 and that money, you can't go wrong. Seriously. And if you don't own a system already, like if you only own a PC, it's absolutely worth doing. And plus, they're not going to stop producing PS3 titles. That's the thing. It will go on for a while. And with the PS2, when the PS2, you know, when the PS3 came out, rather, I should say, the PS2 obviously carried on making games for a while. Now the thing was the jump up in terms of graphics and gameplay, the gameplay size as well, just what they could do with the game, was so massively significant between the PS2 to PS3. I never really considered picking up PS2 games after the release of the PS3 because it was kind of like, it's not comparable. Oh crap, that was all over the place there. It's just not comparable. But with the PS3, I mean, it's the PS4 is way in advance, but it's not, you could play the PS3 and it still has today's sort of graphics. It's still really enjoyable on some titles anyway, obviously not all. But regardless of that, as I say, there's still just a huge amount of enjoyment, and as I say, they'll continue to make games. So I think for all of the... maybe need to focus a little bit more on the game here. But for all of those reasons, it's just a definite sort of good choice to make, and I think that people should consider it for the next year, some point in the next year as well. I mean, maybe not even now because it's very, very near to the sort of release and so on and so on, but if you give it 6 months, you'll be getting some real bargains, and it's definitely going to be worth considering that. And plus you still got the PlayStation Network, etc, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, that's the other thing as well. I think that's something that would dissuade people from getting an Xbox 360 at this exact point in time, is, having to do the whole pay to be on the network thing, whereas with the PlayStation, you obviously don't have to do that. So again, it's like a kind of win-win really, in terms of actually picking up the system, because you don't have to stump up any extra money other than buying your games once you've actually got it. So I think for all those reasons, it's a good purchase to be making. Let's see where we are. Coming into orange now. Actually get through the first checkpoint. 5 seconds. Would prefer if it was more like 10, which is roughly what I aim to be on through. Even 13 if I could, which would be very good. Let's just see if we can get to mountain, which might be a little optimistic with only 5 on the clock, but we'll see how we go. Oh god. These corners get so severe when we get into this section. Oh god. No. Okay, so that's basically this one over. It was so close. Oh man, this game. I think, like somebody said to me last time, we are getting very close to kind of marathon requirements. Oh goddamn. When it gets to the point of absolute stagnation, where I can't seem to make any progress with this game, that's when I have to break out the marathon session of just play like for 2 hours straight and see if I can do it. Because I'm so close now, for at least a month minimum, we've been getting to the last 1 and 2 segments of this race, and it's just battling on. The trouble is like, you have to get through, like I've said before, you have to be consistent, you have to make no crashes and be kind of consistent with your luck and driving skill throughout the race. If you make any small infraction, it really ruins the chances, as well as of course of having to go as fast as you can on all these little bits. I'm going to restart, guys. Right, here we go. So for the last run of the day, I didn't want it to be spoiled by a crash. That's another one. This will count as my kind of 4th run, really, I suppose. Veto out that other one there. But like I say, you've got to really try and get close to those sort of corners to make the maximum you can out of the time. The trouble is, the hit detection in terms of objects on this game is a little bit old school, so sometimes it's weird. You can go, like we've seen before when I kind of have these near misses, you can come so close to an object sometimes and you think, Jesus, how the hell did I miss that? And then you can have other times, like on these corners here, and you think you're safe and you just go crashing off. It's going to be really brutal. Very unforgiving, these older titles. Oh, there we go, crushing it through. So DayZ, for example, DayZ I'm going to be picking up. I decided eventually, I've looked at it, I've spoken to a load of people. I also like the sound of some of the things that they're putting into the game, because this is the thing, you've got to remember it's in a very, very, very raw alpha stage at the moment, and so a lot of people kind of started throwing gameplay online, which is all very well, and I probably will do the same, but the trouble is like, people start throwing all this gameplay online, and I sometimes wonder whether, when a game is in alpha, whether the developer should be a little bit harsher about controlling what is shown, because the thing is, sometimes people will look at something like an alpha and not give it the kind of consideration that they should. They won't put it into the correct context. Some people may not even understand that it's an alpha. They may just look at it and go, whoa, this game is rubbish, and they don't really understand that it's in a kind of development process. And that really is the difficulty. I mean, for example, I was saying earlier this week, of all the gameplay I'd seen, there was hardly any zombies, and it's true. Like, I saw a load of videos I tried to watch because I was trying to sort of, you know, gather my sort of opinion on whether or not I was going to buy the game. And from what I saw, I was like, there's like no zombies at all. Until I kind of found out a little bit more, and I did find some which had some zombies, and hopefully I'll be able to get some gameplay this week of me doing the same. But as I say, it's in an alpha stage, DayZ. And that's the trouble, is like people just need to keep it in mind, because there's loads of stuff that they're going to fix, tweak and add to the game to, you know, a lot of times people say, well, there's not much in the game right now. Well, this is true, and so that's some of the things that they're going to add, because games don't just start with everything in them. The devs have to kind of build it, and then they work through the elements and they add new stuff in. So that's how it's going to work. And I also think that's what's quite exciting now is some titles, like when you look at, for example, Minecraft, but like DayZ as well. These are the kind of games where they will just go on and on in terms of things being added to the game, which is really, really nice. Some games are a little bit more questionable, like Armour. Like Armour, I'm still not sure about, because with Armour, I'm often a bit vexed, I'm a bit confused. It's kind of like, well, I sometimes feel with Armour like, man, did they really just decide, okay, that's enough of stuff to put in the game? I mean, there's really weird things, like, for example, not being able to rest your gun, you know, when you have like an LMG. How can that not be in the finished game? It doesn't really make sense. There's so many things that are like just small things that should be in a finished game, especially like Armour, and they seem to have just left it out completely, which is really strange. And it's mainly because Armour has like such a heavy modding community, like really heavy. They're often quite complicated mods, sometimes even whole, you know, graphic builds. Like, people keep telling me about this sort of F-18 jets and things that people can bring into the game now, and this is all very well and good, but it's kind of like, you know, seriously, I mean, these things are very big and good, but it's kind of like when you put the game out there to be modded so much, I don't know, it's a strange one. I often feel like if a game requires so much modding to almost make it feel like a complete game, it's kind of questionable whether they should be putting that full price tag on there. Because Armour 3, it's a big price tag, and for sure it looks great and it is awesome. But pretty much all of the games and stuff that I have played so far have been modded or, you know, worked on from people outside who are often working for little or nothing, which I find a weird concept. It would be like Battlefield releasing the kind of core elements of the game but with no real game modes, and then people are just left to create game modes to play in. It's a really strange one. Anyway, something else I was thinking about this week was Half-Life. I used to absolutely enjoy playing Half-Life years and years and years ago, Half-Life multiplayer. And I suddenly thought, man, maybe I need to get that installed on my PC. Because that's the other thing as well, because with, I know Windows 8 often causes some problems in terms of, you know, older stuff that you can install. There was a, oh, damn it, oh no, there's a fantastic gangsters game, I can't remember what it was called exactly. Oh god, it was called Gangsters something Streets or something like that. I'll try and find it below. But if you're running Windows 7, you can run it, and it's absolutely worth getting. Really enjoyable game. But Windows 8, it just doesn't seem to run on, basically, so I couldn't get it, which was really annoying. Oh no! Oh god! This has been really a pinball episode today. Anyway. So yeah, so with that in mind, I was thinking about looking to get Half-Life, see if it'll run, because some of the gameplay, the multiplayer gameplay he's telling, that was hilarious. And I know that some people like Jake, who's in the Works Media on YouTube, he plays a lot of kind of older school stuff. He has tons and tons of games. He's a real gamer. So I can imagine we might be able to have some enjoyable games. I'm sure he'd be sort of down for that sort of stuff. Oh, good lord. This has not been a good run today. Actually, this has been weird, because we've got into the orange stage multiple times, and you know before now that when I've had bad race days, I sometimes can't even make it to orange. I can't even make it halfway through this game sometimes. But I managed to actually get pretty far into this game. So this is kind of a weird feeling of kind of... Look! We've had these terrible yet good runs today. Man, what a weird one. What a strange start to the year. Well, regardless, there we go. See you back on Sunday. I've got some weird engine noise stuck in my ear as well. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, guys, right, I think I'm going to do a little practice running this next week, and we'll see if we can make a bit stronger progress. I want to be getting at least to that final segment before on the next run, but who knows, maybe next week I'll decide to run a bit of a marathon gameplay if I can. We'll see how we go. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop your comments below about the opinions and topics today, so all the different things in there, and I'll see you next time next week for some more Super Hang On Sunday. See you then, guys.